Oh, that's convenient. Gives me an outline of what to talk about.
Okay, we are clear. Ready to go live in 5, 4. Cue the talent. 3. Hey, I said cue the talent. 2 and 1. Attention hobbyists, sports fans, and collectors nationwide and abroad. It's time to get hype. Come on! Come on! Come on! Come on! About the hobby we are all a part of. Live from the Mojo Break Studios, it's Dan and Doug. Check it out. Come on! So, get hype. Be hype. This is The Hype.
What is going on, everybody? It's time for another episode of The Hype. It's episode 16. I cannot believe we've done 16 weeks in a row. Can you believe it?
I can't believe it. I also can't believe that we didn't notice there's a big giant blank space behind your head.
Hey, it's, we have more room for merchandising.
we
so.
we do. That's going to be filled up at some point. So, damn, there was that sign right there that would have been perfect.
Perfect. We got two C-Rads.
That is a good riff coming into this.
It was. Did you write that?
No,
No? Man.
no, I didn't.
So we're going to talk about all things hobby today. We've got Immaculate Basketball that just dropped today. We've been pulling logo mans and shoe cards like crazy. Don't miss out on some breaks tonight and get your chance at getting one of those epic logo mans or RPAs. We're also going to talk about the Cuts NFL that also dropped today. And we got the playoffs. We're going to start off playoffs. Need one of those drops. The Yankees. All rise. Aaron Judge, Dan's favorite topic.
All right, already, huh?
All right,
Man.
It was funny. I was watching that home run he hit in the I think it was the 5th or 6th inning, and I was just like, watch the home run right here. His cards go up $100. So good thing for this hobby. Sorry, Twins fans. Not a lot of guys that are going to go up in value if the Twins make it on. I'm sorry if you're a Twins fan, but
Buxton, dude.
yeah, and he got hurt. He made an epic catch, but he got hurt.
Wow.
But everybody's that's holding on to Aaron Judge's wanted to see him make it through, and now they're going to go play Cleveland, and that should be a really good series. I want the Yankees to win. My heart's saying the Indians win just because of the experience from last year, going all the way to the World Series. These guys are hungry. They want to avenge last year, kind of like a Royal situation. So we'll see, but it's a good time for Aaron Judge and the Yankees. Do you hold now or do you sell right now if you're a seller of Aaron Judge?
Ooh, that's tough.
I like to ask tough questions.
That's a tough question. I wasn't ready for that. I hold, thinking that they do beat the Indians.
Yeah.
His cards go up. The deeper they go into the playoffs, the more he plays, the more home runs he hits. I mean, they showed his stat line last night. I think it was like the 7th inning or something. He came up 281, 51 home runs.
It's insane.
51 home runs. Granted, the balls are a little juiced.
Ooh, you heard it here first.
You
from
can't.
Dan.
You can't deny that. It's the juiced ball era. I mean, he's a big kid, but if it was the dead ball era, he probably would have hit 30 home runs. But 51 home runs from a rookie,
That's
and
insane.
I think a wise man once said he was going to hit about 280 at the end of the year. I think that was me.
That was you. We got to go back.
I think we got to go back and
gotta go back to the
I
show.
think I said he was going to hit. I think 40. I think I said 40 some in the 40 home run range, and 280.
I mean, it's an unbelievable season. We've been breaking since 2010, which we actually have a little segment coming up on that, little prelude into that. But there hasn't been any rookie that has, put up these kind of stats, especially in the home run category, which, puts meat in the seats. meat in the seats is going to be like proof in the pudding next show. But it's been an epic run. Now, do you buy? Are you a buyer right now? Are you buying? If you think that there's a chance that you can buy now and make a couple $100 later, do you buy now?
No.
No?
I don't. Such a short window.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously you're saying buy on eBay. Well, granted, you're going to have to wait for it to ship to you.
Yeah.
By the time you get it, you're taking that risk. They may not be in the playoffs anymore. So I wouldn't. The window is just unless you think they're going to make a World Series run.
Well, there is a chance. Well, here's the thing. You're right there. I agree with you there. But there is a possibility that he does get the MVP, and that would give him a bump. And he's probably going to get Rookie of the Year. So buying now may not be a horrible investment.
I think Altuve gets. I think Altuve gets the MVP.
I can't see that. My money's is on either Judge or Chris Sale.
I think Judge is already going to get some hardware. He's going to get Rookie of the Year. I doubt they would give him Rookie of the Year and the MVP. I mean,
now if that happens, what do you see?
The Astros won over 100 games. In my opinion, I think they are the odds-on favorite to go to the World Series for the AL. They got Verlander.
They do have
Verlander's clutch in the playoffs.
Yeah, that's
as long as he's not playing the Giants and pitching to Pablo.
Yep. Verlander,
he's clutch.
He is clutch. That was a good pickup by the Astros, which kind of brings me to the postseason talk. 2017 postseason, and we actually had a Talker Tuesday that James did a video on, and he asked a question. World Series winner for this year, which is obviously the big topic on all the shows and things like that. So we had a lot of you guys chime in, and we appreciate that. We're gonna give some things away. Actually, nobody said the Twins, believe it or not, but we had some Stacy saying hopefully the Dodgers, Ernie saying the Dodgers, Bobby saying the Dodgers, Heath saying the Astros, Cy saying the Dodgers, Kevin saying Astros, Indians will beat the Dodgers. Ben, as a lifelong Cubs fan, I would say them, but I don't think it's this year. I would love to see the Rockies beating the Indians. That's a stretch, Ben, but that would be crazy. Baseball ratings probably would not like a Rockies-Indians World Series. That would probably be the lowest-rated World Series in a while. But, hey, as a baseball enthusiast, that'd be pretty cool. Astros over Cubs, Red Sox, Tribe, Astros over the Dodgers, Astros Verlander MVP. So you kind of already alluded to your take, so you're thinking Astros.
Yeah, I like going for the almost for sure thing. That's just how I roll.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with I was on the Astros train. I like Bregman a lot. I think I'm gonna go with the Cubs. I think they're doing back to back. It's been such a long time since they won one before last year that they got the championship blood after 1 year.
And the reason why I wouldn't say the Indians from the AL is I think they got hot at the wrong time. They got hot a little too early.
Yeah.
If they would have got hot maybe 2 weeks later and had that push into the playoffs, then that would be something. Now, it's hard to keep that intensity. They've already accomplished so much with that, 30 game? Was it 30 games that they won in a row?
Yeah.
29, something like that?
Yeah.
They beat the A's.
It was just right before, right? And you got all those wins out of the way.
Yeah.
Baseball's a game of statistics, and you had statistics leaning on your side.
That you're probably going to lose some games now.
Yeah.
So
I was surprised you weren't going to say the Rams are going to win the World Series somehow. This guy is just. I think he's got a Rams tattoo at 3-1. It's like the first time since the Greatest Show on Turf. I know we're not going to switch into football, but
I said it earlier. It's good to see meaningful football games in October for the Rams.
Yeah.
Because usually by now we're pretty much eliminated. We're just trying to figure out if we're going to win 3 to 4 games.
Trying to figure out what you're going to get first round draft, first overall pick.
Trying to figure out
top
how many
five.
what we're going to trade away
Start
for.
scouting college players.
Yeah, how many first round picks are we going to trade away to move up one?
Yeah.
Yeah. But that Jared Goff trade looking good now.
Doesn't look bad.
Looking good.
But yeah, back to baseball. C-Rad, you had to pick one. Who are you going with?
I'll go with my wife's team, the Yankees.
Nice. That would be Yankees. Okay, let's reword this. Which 2 World Series teams would be the best for the hobby?
Yankees, Dodgers. Come on. low hanging
Is
fruit.
that an easy one?
Yeah.
I mean, you could kind of say the Astros with Bregman. You could say the Cubs too. I mean, the Cubs with you got Ian Happ as a rookie. You got Chris Bryant. You got Rizzo. You've got the cast of characters that have always sold well in the hobby. So you can make an argument for the Cubs just as much as the Dodgers.
Rockies,
No.
Diamondbacks.
No. Well, I mean, the Diamondbacks, I mean, they do have Goldschmidt, Greinke, JD Martinez is on fire. That would be almost like a Giants pick. Like, I would pick the Giants, but I think the general population would not pick the Giants in that category because I think people were bored of the Giants' World Series. But yeah, Dodgers, Yankees probably. And let's ask you guys.
I don't even think for the hobby. I think just in ratings in general. The two biggest markets,
Yeah.
LA, West Coast, New York, East Coast. I mean, come on.
Yep.
Two historic franchises.
Matt's taking Three Fingers Brown in the old Dixie Classic.
Ah, the old Dixie Classic. Mashed potatoes brown.
Well, check this out. What if it was this would be a collision course of epic proportions if you had Yankees, Red Sox, and Cubs, Dodgers. Then everybody wins, right? Oh, God, it's going to be the most epic World Series no matter what happens, right? So, the Indians will have something to say about that. The Astros will have something to say. Unfortunately, I don't know how many people are going to be watching the Rockies Diamondbacks as a NL West guy myself, and then that team's going to go play the Dodgers. I think
It's probably going to be an amazing baseball game.
Yeah.
Is it in Arizona or Colorado?
I think it's in Arizona. Arizona was the first seed.
All
so
right.
Yes.
Over or under 19 runs combined? Doesn't really matter.
In
right?
that one game?
In that one game.
Way under.
Were you sure?
Yeah, like 10. I know they have some power hitters, but I don't.
Dude, I think
19 is
I think that's going to be like a 12. I think it's going to be at least 12 to 13 runs is going to win that game.
It's Greinke versus Jonathan Gray.
Watch for it. We're going to come back next week, and you're going to be like, man, they scored 35 runs that game.
Well, I know, right? I wanted to get your take. I know we talked about this off the air. One game, the one game wild card. Love it or hate it.
I don't love the fact that you have a 162 game season come down to one game. I understand the excitement aspect of it, but you played 162 games. Don't let everything ride on one game. Let's make that wild card game. Let's make it a 3-game series. Major League Baseball would love it.
Before I take what do you guys think in the chat? I think, you know what? They added that extra wild card game. You have to play those 162 games to get there. So that's the whole point of the 162
How about we just make the baseball season 16 games, 20 games?
Because that would just defeat history.
And this isn't?
But to avoid that one game by winning your division. You weren't strong enough to win your division, so you have to play for your life. That's it.
But what if you're in a really good division?
No.
Like the NL West. This year, the NL West has 3 playoff teams.
Yes, they do. They do have 3 playoff teams.
Only-
Strong
oh,
division.
it's only-
Strong.
Only
Greatest division in baseball.
Only 2 teams didn't get invited to the party.
Yeah. The Fathers and the
One of
Giants.
them almost lost 100 games.
It's true.
And the Giants actually would have the number 1 pick overall, but they have the 2nd pick overall next year.
The Giants?
The Giants. They tied the Tigers this year.
Ooh.
And
They
I
have
guess
the,
I guess the tiebreaker is what your record was the previous year.
Right.
Tigers lost one
And we were in
more
the playoffs.
game,
Yeah. Well, that's interesting.
So the Giants have the 2nd overall pick. They can use the 1st overall pick.
But they could. They could use 10 first round picks. One game. Birdie B says one game. Otherwise, players get tired and risk injury, and teams not playing have no momentum. I just, that was an exciting game, knowing that everything was on the line. It's like we may not even get any clinching, one game playoffs where it's 3-3 this year. I mean, that's the same thing as a series that's 3-3 or for a 5-game series.
But
isn't a 2-2?
Isn't the point of going to the playoffs to have a series to where the best team wins? You leave it to one game, and sometimes the best team doesn't win.
But that's the same thing with football. Football plays one game. So the best team doesn't win in football? I mean, same thing, right?
Well, I mean, yeah, it's the same thing in that aspect, but that's not baseball. We're talking history.
Well,
we're talking Baseball's not a game where everything comes down to one game.
Yeah.
It's a marathon.
It is. I mean,
So why basically go a marathon season and then the playoffs it's a quick sprint.
because you can't drag out baseball that long. Let's face it, baseball.
It's 162 games. What's an extra 3 games going to do?
It's dragging it out that extra couple. I mean, you know how they do it. They play a game every other day, like kind of like the NBA.
So okay,
just gonna
okay.
drag it out a couple more weeks.
All right. So you have a 150 game season.
Then you got to throw out all the records. You got to change the whole book around.
All right,
I
you
like
have
what they're doing. They got one extra.
You have a 159 game season.
If it was a 3-game series, who gets the home games? Brandon J says.
Whatever team has the best record,
So you get 2 and then 1.
you get 2 and then 1.
But watching the game last night, I mean, you've seen the tale of 2 really bad pitchers at the I mean, bad for that game. You had Severino on one side and you had Irvin Santana on the other side. Right away, Minnesota struck first, and 1 out is what Severino got. He got yanked. They let Santana gave him 3 runs. They let him come back, which was kind of a controversial decision. He got 2 outs, but then he gave up the home run to Gardner, which could have changed the momentum. So it's kind of micromanaging a 7-game series into 1. You have to make sure that if you're pulling the first punch, you have to be able to kind of bounce back from that. And that's what I like. You kind of condense everything, and you actually see the true managerial aspect in a 1-game series because you have to have a short leash on a pitcher who's not effective. You got to make the right moves. You got to make the right, hit and runs, and every pitch counts.
So
That's what makes it exciting for me.
So you have to manage that 1 game unlike you managed the previous 162.
Correct.
Okay, makes no sense. Absolutely. Just wrap your head around that for a second and go, then what was the point of playing the 162 games?
Well, if you're because you have to earn your way in. Then why does NBA play 82 games? Why does the NFL play 16 games? So your theory, then we should just the team that has the best record, they win the championship. That's it.
It's
like a roto fantasy league.
Good old
You're not
day.
even playing
the
anybody.
good old days. Just like that. That you're right. It should be.
So
like,
who won the most games this year? Was it the Indians or the Astros?
I think it was the Astros. Astros won they won
it.
They won the World
They
Series.
didn't have to play anybody because they had the best.
Love it. That is, I like it. Let's go with that strategy.
And Jay August is right. He says, Dan, stop watching sports. It's the best game of the year. Why knock it? Yeah, I actually had to take my daughter to the park. She always wants me to take her to the park on Tuesday. But luckily, with the power of YouTube TV, I was able to watch the game.
It's so good.
It was exciting.
Wouldn't 2 more games be even better?
No, because now we get the Indians and the Yankees.
Because now it's like baseball regular.
Well, kind of.
Yeah. So why don't they just? They should have just done a home run derby last night to see whoever hit the most home runs, they win the game. And people have been like, "Oh yeah, dude, I love that. I love that."
Well, I like the 1 game. He doesn't. So chime in. See what you guys think. Do you like the 1 game or do you not? MLB postseason rookies. These are the ones that are in Topps products that. Are they going to gain or lose based on their performance? Obviously, we have Cody Bellinger.
Who's that?
With his new girlfriend. She's not bad looking. Andrew Benintendi for the Red Sox. You got Bregman for the Astros. And one that I think could kind of make an impact is maybe Ian Happ for the Cubs making an impact. So, obviously, the low-hanging fruit is Judge's cards. But out of these 4 guys here, between Bellinger, Benintendi, Bregman, and Ian Happ, who do you think goes up in the postseason where people are going to start trying to collect their cards?
Whoever hits the most home runs and wins games.
Well, let's get a crystal ball and predict that. So who's going to win the most games and who's going to hit the most home runs in your opinion?
Is that who I have to choose from? Is those?
I mean, you could go with like German Marquez if you wanted to. You could go real deep and go some wild card
But that's
guys.
not what I do.
But these are the biggest names.
I go with the lowest possible hanging fruit.
You're known to do.
Yep.
to do so.
I'm gonna go Cody Bellinger.
You're gonna go with Cody Bellinger.
Cody Bellinger.
Well, he did have the best picture up there out of the 4.
He did.
I won't. Yeah, I guess she's a law student.
And I think the Dodgers are gonna win the.
She looks
smart.
I think
She does look very smart.
I think they're gonna win the NL. I think they're gonna represent the NL in the World Series.
That would be good. That would be good for the hobby. I hate the Dodgers, but it'd be good for the hobby.
Well, according to you, I love them. So I'll be pretty excited.
Yep, you'll get a bring home for your team in LA.
Yep.
Bring it right home.
Go to a parade.
It was nothing better that Dan's only team he doesn't like in the Bay Area is the Rams. So and now they're LA. So we're at the Rams Niners game last week, and there's just guys that are wearing Dodger hats that are hugging Dan because they're also LA Rams fans, and it's kind of awkward, It's a little awkward. So I'm just saying, when you like you like the teams in the same city, you don't have to kind of have those arguments.
Yes, sir.
So you stay where you're from, represent. So. Anyways,
I know. I mean, firsthand because you were a Magic fan for how long?
I was a Magic fan for too long, man. Why? That's the other side of the coast. Why would I follow a team I can't watch on TV? Can't watch them on TV.
So the playoffs started happening, and it was like
it was 2011. Yeah. I got my card in 2011.
2011.
2011 is when I got my Golden State Warriors card. So
It's a good time to jump on.
no, it wasn't. It actually wasn't.
It was better than 1996.
Well. It was still my second favorite team. They just leaped to 1, and I have the Magic as 2. So, but I'm all Bay Area. That was why the decision was made. It was a hard decision to let go of my team. So I still have my heart's still in Orlando. So, but I wanted to talk about Bowman Chrome. Go ahead and blast me in the chat if you guys want. Bowman Chrome came out last week, and we ripped a ton of cases. The stuff was good. It had a lot of color. The choice, which here's the choice. Cases, a whole new format. We were talking about last week. We weren't sure how it's going to be, but they got them in a snap case, just 3 autos. They're protected really, really well, which is something we did. We just thought Topps was going to throw 3 cards in a pack, and we're going to have all kinds of surface damage and be very careful opening up the packs. They did it right, and I think it lended itself well to group breaks. It made the group break faster. It was all hit based. I mean, it does take away from the base card aspect, which people that collect sets and colors from that. But it was kind of a nice change from Bowman. I think it was much better than they did they've tried in the past. What were your thoughts on let's start with the 2 formats. What do you think?
The choice format didn't, for me personally, I think I was breaking a Chrome case about the same amount of time as I was breaking the choice. As you can see, there's more moving parts, like getting the snap case back together, and you got the dummies and the little foamy card thingies and spacers, and it was easier, and I was in a more of a rhythm opening up the hobby.
Yeah, true.
Besides that, I was talked a lot about how they packaged it. I think that was my main concern. It was a real concern.
Yeah.
We had talked like off air for a long time about how are they going to do this. Don't have a lot of faith in Topps getting this right. When I first opened it, I'm like, what the hell is this? I'm like, did they mag up cards? Are they top loaded?
I know, because we shook up loose box. And
I was like, what?
The heck?
I'm like, what's going on here? And when I opened it up, I'm like, okay. I'm like, I'm digging it. I actually probably wouldn't even have thought of packing them out that way. So I got to give props to Topps on that.
Props to Topps, man. They should have a page called Props to Topps where you can leave them like good feedback. Like they'll delete all the negative ones, but props to Topps. And they had that. What did they have the year before? Remember when they had they thought that it was called vending, and we thought it was gonna all, but then it was in the same pack.
They sold it as one pack. It was like 50 cards in one pack.
But then they had 5 different packs or whatever it was.
Then they did 3 packs.
And then they had that super jumbo one year where the packs were attached. So they've went through some trial and error. So I'd like to see this one become a staple.
Those snap cases are that added a little bit of cost to the packaging.
Because I think it does. But I think you can kind of separate the 2 Bowman collectors, the ones that don't want to collect base, and the ones that want to collect base. So you have the 2 different options. Same autograph checklist. It's
value wise, I still think the value is in the hobby.
Yeah.
There's a lot of color coming out of there, obviously, because that's the non-auto color. That's the only place you're gonna get it.
Yeah.
If I was gonna buy a box, I would go with the hobby.
Toma, I don't know if they're gonna bring back Bowman Sterling. I would hope. They say as of right now there is no plans.
I don't think so. I think Bowman's best is the closest thing we're gonna get.
I think the trouble with Bowman Sterling is since they have to have 16 autos a box, which is great for us and great for collectors. It's very hard for them to acquire them, I think is what the problem is. So they went with more of they put 4 autos in Bowman's best, and they can make 4 boxes of that as opposed to 1 box of Sterling, I think is the thought process there.
They may bring back Bowman Sterling, the name. I don't think the configuration is going to be the same. it's not going to be 18 autos in a box.
Right.
I think the days of any product having 18 autos in a box like that is long gone.
Unless you're talking about a transcendent product or something crazy, you know. All right, so I wanted to move
in the $200 to $300 price point,
right?
Not the $30,000 price point.
Exactly. So here's some of the higher selling cards. Cody Bellinger, extremely hard to hit in this set. You can see his Orange Redemption with bids, 2,400. That seems really high for just like a third rookie card of him. It's probably going to be, in the grand scheme of things, you want his first Bowman, then maybe his Topps Chrome, then maybe this would be the third kind of collectible card. So that seems very, very high. So that's good. It gives you good chase. Also, Lazarito. This is a red, number to 5, $1,200.
Armenteros.
So a lot of you guys that don't watch baseball or don't follow like Baseball America that haven't heard of these guys, one good thing is to check eBay and see how their values are, because that blew my mind. I didn't think he would sell that much. So there's a lot of chase in this, even if you don't know the names. It's all based on what our show's called, the hype. Bowman is 100% based on hype and what these guys may do, what they may do. Now, a lot of them fizzle out, but the fun of it is hitting this like a Jesus gold refractor and selling for $1,000. This guy's, only seen very minimal minor league at bats, but based on his size and stats where he came from, sells well. There's people that are hyping that he's going to be the next Albert Pujols or whoever. So that's the beauty of Bowman.
Maybe
a
people
lot of
are,
no names, and people are like, whoa, I don't know any of these names in the break, because it's almost impossible to follow baseball from the Dominican Republic, from Cuba to AAA to fifth rounders. It's just, you'd have to dedicate your life to it.
People are foreshadowing that maybe the A's like prospect is going to be on the Yankees at some point.
Well, yeah, there's kind of a farm system.
Buy it now.
Yeah, right.
He's a top prospect in the A's, also known as the Yankees farm system.
Yep, top prospect. They're like a farm system for him. And then Austin Hayes, number to 50. This is one of the guys out of the gate everybody was talking about. His card right there, 900 or best offer on a gold. I didn't see any oranges or lower on him. So he's selling well. He actually got called up this year. He had a couple, I think he was batting like 280-ish or something like that. So he'll probably have a rookie card next year, but this is his first Bowman, so people are collecting that. So there's a lot of chasing Bowman, and lots more Bowman to be broken, including here at MojoBreak.com. So I wanted to get into a scammer portion of the break. This guy got called out for possibly swiping a redemption. Hard to tell here. People have called out the shadows. People think he stole a Cody Bellinger. The guy literally got blasted. He was a Facebook breaker who owned a shop. His business is pretty much done at this point from what we could tell. So there was 2 incidences that happened kind of in the last couple days, and this is the first one. Hard to see on the video, but he held this Max Schrock card up for just entirely too long, and you could see his arm come around in the shadow if you watch the video. If you look up on YouTube or on Blowout, you can find the same video for yourself if you want to analyze it. But they said he basically switched out a card for this card, which would have been a white redemption. So, and then there was this guy.
Do we have audio?
I wish we did.
Oh, man.
There was this guy, which I think was just complete being naive. I'm giving a little advertisement to him. First off,
Look at that money.
$100 bills on a kitchen table while opening up cards, I don't think gets your customers really excited, personally. That's me. I mean, if I was going to do a transaction with somebody and I saw that they had hundreds of dollars in front of them, I'd be like, this guy makes too much money, and that's all he cares about. That's just me personally. I don't know what you guys think. But if you go to about 5 minutes in, I think 5:01 here, he's opening a box of Absolutes, and this was an eBay break, and he's got a real, you could actually not only open the box, you could kill somebody at the same time with a knife, just in case somebody breaks in. But if you want to fast forward to 5 minutes in, so we don't have to sit through everything else, you could see there was, and this helps with audio too, so you can watch this yourself. But he basically,
Nice scissors.
He's got good scissors. He basically, there's a glass card coming up right there.
He reads it for way.
He reads it for a little bit too long, and doesn't go over it on the video. Claims he sent it out and it was a Jerry Rice, but no one sees what it is. At best, it's probably a $50 card. I think it was just somebody being a noob. But he got blasted as well on a scammer site for stealing cards, and he seems like he's done as well. Probably doesn't help. He had the $100 bills on the table. Probably, they would probably give him the benefit of the doubt without the $100 bills on the table. But I was thinking next week I might come in if you go to the next 2 slides.
Why would you?
I may come in and break like that next week. Would you guys like that? I mean, would that work out?
Is that Scott Disick?
It might be. Or I was thinking to make it more realistic, I would go with the next slide here and come in.
Lord Disick has way more swag than this guy.
Yeah, that guy doesn't have that much swag. Or I was thinking of maybe like real dollar bills as opposed to like the suit and break. Would that work for you guys? A poll question. Do you want Doug to wear a bunch of? That's actually dollar bills. I might be able to afford that one. The other one was $100 bills. I might not be able to afford that.
That's still a lot of dollars.
So, but just to kind of go over it, there's when you're doing breaks, and obviously we do breaks, so we have an opinion on it. Just make sure who you're dealing with. These guys come from Facebook. They come from eBay. Do some research. Don't send PayPal gift. If you send PayPal gift, you're never going to get your money. If you send PayPal regular, you can file a claim, get your money back, whatnot.
Goods and services. You should never send PayPal gift ever under any circumstance.
Exactly. And
you're not protected. It's not a good idea. Don't do it.
Regardless of how great the price is, how good the deal is, there's 10 to 20 reputable breakers, and probably even more than that have been breaking for longer than 2 to 3 years, that have been doing it that long because they're honest and transparent. So that's key. Just don't jump into somebody's Facebook basement breaks where the dude's eating pizza while opening up cards and just doing stuff that these guys did on camera. So, and also, even if they didn't do anything, the first guy looks like he did something. The second guy, I think it was more of like a naiveness. But because he was new and because he actually had a horrible rating on eBay, looked like he scammed somebody, even if he didn't intend on doing it. And he was moving the camera out of focus off the table, which is also a no-no. So, but I wanted to talk about the history of breaks. And it's a short history, at least from us. We started in 2010. So this is going to mainly kind of be more about like how we started and how kind of the idiosyncrasies of technology and the development of stuff. Because if you go back, if you start with some of our earlier videos, you'll just see absolute comedy.
Who the hell's that?
I don't know. That was one of the first videos to sign up for a free break in 2010. That's like my younger brother.
I don't.
2010 Donruss Elite.
Damn, you're gangster up in there. Is that a Florida Marlin hat?
I think I'm dropping a flow at the same time. No,
it's
actually a San Francisco Giants hat.
Oh, it looks like I thought
it's the G.
I thought it was like a Florida Marlin hat. I was like, what?
Yeah, I'm a Marlin fan now.
We
started on Blog TV. So if any of you guys have been around for the last 7 years, Blog TV was the wild, wild west. It was wacky. It was worse than Breakers TV as far as technology. You had guys that just would come in and call everybody scammers. There was no way to filter out comments, and it was just and nobody really knew what they were doing back then because this was kind of so new. The people that I know that were before us was Firehand, Chris, but he wasn't really doing breaks. He was doing personals, and he was only doing YouTube. And I remember a site called Box Breakings that only lasted like a year. Those guys were the only ones that came before us. So there was no paved way for us to learn like guys that join in now that they could watch how people do things. But Blog TV, what do you remember best about Blog TV?
Oh my God. It was like the Wild West. It was, if anybody's been in like just breakers in general, like Breakers TV, if you're in there and it's getting late, it's like maybe 1 o'clock in the morning, you start getting the riffraff rolling through. It was like that, but like 3 o'clock in the afternoon.
Yes.
It was like all the time. It was like the Wild West. It was just people bouncing from like room to room, and you had to have thick skin because you were going to get ripped on.
Yeah, and the plain white envelope, which I don't know where that got developed, but that was like the topic of Blog TV. Somebody would run in your room and say, don't send money to this guy because he sends your cards in a PWE, which I didn't even know what that was at the time, which means plain white envelope. So I don't know why that's like really like if you're going to make fun of somebody, that's what you go with, was kind of an oddball thing. So, but they were hitting everybody's room saying, sends cards in plain white envelope, blah, blah, blah. He's a scammer. And
I remember when Blog TV was going under, and we all knew it, and it was a major issue for all the group breakers.
It was like everybody was
a
split.
lot of group breakers were like, well, I don't think I can go forward. I don't know what to do. That's when people started doing the Vaughn Live. Vaughn Live turned into Breakers TV. I actually viewed Breakers TV almost identical to Blog TV. So I was like actually kind of stoked this was happening. It was giving us an option to go to another direction. We preferred the platform of Ustream.
Yep.
Again, it not a free service. It actually relatively pricey, but I think the
quality.
the
is what we're
quality
going for.
and on the back end, it was a lot easier for us to manage.
Yep.
Editing videos. The chat is a little buggy now, more so than it was before. It's actually progressively gotten a little worse, which is weird because technology gets better. You think it would get better over time. But we kind of steered away from going to Breakers TV, where everybody else, majority of the people, that was their first option, was going Breakers TV. And it actually wasn't It was Vaughn Live.
Vaughn Live.
It was Vaughn Live. It wasn't. Then it turned into Breakers.
Well, then they actually Blog TV got bought out by a company called YouNow,
Oh.
which we were like, okay, we're gonna give it a shot. So what it was is to stay live, you had to get votes. So it was kind of aimed at more like teeny boppers, like a guy's gonna go on there, la 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 la, sing a song, and then they have to have people voting you to keep you live. And so we were, small stuff. We're still small stuff, but we'd go live and we'd be live for like 30 seconds, be like, how are you going to do a break this way?
Yeah.
How are we going to start breaking a box and then 30 seconds be off air? Like, what the hell?
You would lose feed because we wouldn't get enough people to
vote for you. And I could imagine if we went that route, how many people would be voting against. Like, all the competitors would be voting against you. You're like, get off the air. It's my channel now. So, and then the other there was no YouTube Live. There was YouTube videos. But this was the challenge, too, is the next slide. You could see that you had to run a streaming webcam, and then none of the service offered recording. So, like right now, we only use one camera, and then it backs it up on the cloud and stuff like that. You had to record it on a camera, and then you had to actually kind of, when you're breaking, you had to have two cameras in front of you. And I know this is totally like, first world problem.
Oh, I got a cut. That's a Cubs jersey. I used to be a Cubs fan.
Yeah, you're a Cubs fan. Check this out. Breaking news. Dan used to like the Cubs.
That's my Andre Dawson. I still have that jersey.
So that was an angle that we chose just because we had no idea. You can really see the cards. But this goes back to why we had two cameras. This was the YouTube camera. It wasn't even kind of lined up right because you had to have two cameras on a table, and then you'd have to upload YouTube videos at 10 minutes apiece. And like this break took us like 3 hours to break it.
I'm bringing back the Soul Patch, guys. I just
Is that Dan Anderson or is that Mark Tremonti? I don't know.
Man, that Soul Patch is
Is
dope.
that the guitarist from Creed? I think he's a So, but yeah, and I don't know why there was a bobblehead head in the empty box back there, but I guess it was our way of maybe not making you guys look at our apartment. So that was another evolution. It's like, hey, this is
As you can see, I'm going through the base cards. Those are base cards.
Yeah, I think yeah. Going
And
through the base.
I'm pretty sure you saw who that last card was.
Yeah, you can totally tell. Need some,
What am I? Is this? I'm doing Jumbo.
Jumbo Series 1.
Jumbo Series 1. This actually is our first real break.
I think it was.
This was actually our first break that we sold spots in. This was it.
Put it on a VHS cassette. Most definitely, dude. I don't like you anymore now, Dan. And then I think if we got some more, we got some more great footage over the years. We went through several different kind of backboards, as you can see. I don't know if I was trying to do like a science project or have a backdrop for a break, because you see before that we just had the white screen. So this was the solution for the backdrop with a 40 in the back. I didn't even notice that. Is that a 40 of Mickey's? I didn't even notice that. Man, that must have been a fun night. A 40 of Mickey's? That's awesome.
Dude, I think it's a camera angle. I think that's a Heineken.
I don't know. Maybe
I think
you're
that's a
right.
Heineken.
Maybe it's bad technology.
I think that's a Heineken.
Oh, you're wearing a Cubs jersey again. Different
Well,
day.
it was a baseball break. I didn't know. I didn't have a lot of jerseys. I don't know why I was wearing jerseys.
But you can see, I mean, it took a lot of effort and a lot of artisticness to make that
So
backdrop.
yeah, this as you can see, I'm going over every single base card here, and these would take about 3.5 hours.
Yeah,
About
it would,
three-
it would.
These are like 3.5 hour breaks.
Yeah, and you'd be like tired of talking, and then if you go to the next video, you can see the evolution in the backdrop, where it was like, oh, we'll just put teams available on the backdrop because you couldn't really write on screen. I think that fresh shaven face is mine, pre beard, pre mustache.
Man, did we break anything else other than Jumbo?
I think we're the jumbo,
We're-
the jumbo kings. But so then
We're all, man, we have this system that's really hard to do to show cards. Let's open something that has 5,000 cards and show every one.
Oh yeah, because we wanted to sell so many breaks after that. There's so much time in the day. Then if you go to the next one, it was just an example of just ground roots guerrilla marketing. It was a free pack promo.
Nice
And,
snuggie.
Snuggie glasses, trying to convince people to sign up for a free pack. And
Man,
me and Dan deliberated on this video for days. I mean, it took a long time to come up with this
I like how
idea.
you're not showing your face. Oh, there you go.
So it was it was an effective promo, but it took a lot of time to figure that promo out. So, and then if you go into the then you kind of see where we're at now. Starting to kind of we figured out you could use put the cards in front of the camera, as opposed to going to the side. Took us like 4 years to figure that out.
No, it didn't. It took us. It was about 1.5 years, 2 years maybe.
I'd like to say 4 years sounds better.
It took us 17 years to figure that out. This is when we. This is actually. Is this our second office? First office?
That was a Clean Solar office.
Okay.
Yes, that was the first office.
So look at that banner.
That was pro.
Look at that banner.
Those glasses from the first Men in Black. And then you go to the next one. I think we started figuring out a little bit better signage in the background.
And that's 2012 Momentum. So
Yep. Then we got a little 2015 Immaculate. So we get a little bit better HD, kind of getting up there in quality.
I think we were still using we had a camera that nobody else was using. It was actually a security camera.
Yeah, that's what we thought was the greatest thing.
Which, yeah.
It had no autofocus, but it was HD.
It was HD. Everybody still uses the first camera you were showing.
Yeah, and then
It's still the industry standard.
And then, we got a break from yesterday, and you can see it's HD green screen. Still not there yet. We're still not amazing quality, but, you can see the progression. But like I said, coming in 2010, the industry was just different.
I think we should do
breakers.
2010 Top Series 1 Jumbo and just do it side view.
Again?
Again.
Again,
I want to bring that little cardboard.
I think we have it somewhere.
Yeah, I think that's the way to do it. I think we need to take a step back.
I think we do. Going back in time. Should I wear my Snuggie on camera then too?
Do you still have it?
I might. So the next screen kind of go over some of the group break things over the years. I'll ask you, what has changed in 7 years in group breaking?
First off, for sure the amount of volume that is done in the category of group breaking. When we started doing this, group breaking was a very, very small percentage of the hobby. Most people were still either buying online through a blowout or DA or going to local card shops. I would say in 2010, maybe 2% of gross sales through the hobby were group breaking.
Yeah.
Now I want to say, and don't quote me on this because a lot of manufacturers will throw out a percentage, distributors will throw out a percentage, group breakers throw out percentages. I kind of listen to all of them and come up with my own little average. I would say group breaks are about 35% of the overall sales and revenue, which is, I mean, ridiculous. 35% is a lot.
Yeah.
That is a lot for one aspect of an industry. So that's the one thing. It has changed the way products are made. It's the way it's basically changed the way products are sold, packed out, distributed, manufactured. It's really changed everything, and it's actually changed a lot how people collect.
Yeah.
It's changed. I hate to use this cliche. It's one of my group breaking has been a game changer for the industry as a whole, and I want to
you want to punch yourself.
and I
in the
want to
face?
punch myself in the face right now for saying that because
Game changer.
I absolutely hate that phrase. I apologize for saying it. That was dumb.
Well, and I wanted to mention, obviously C-Rad. How long have you been with us now?
8 months.
8 months? Man, time's flying. The great thing about
Well, how old are you?
oh yeah, I can put the age out there.
21. You know what I'm
Nice.
saying?
I'm like,
on,
well, how long you been with us? I was like in the world
on the planet.
on the planet.
No, but the great thing about C-Rad is that from the day one, this dude, I felt like I'd known him for like his whole life. So that was like coming in here and
Since
just
he was
being
on the
part of-
planet.
Since he was on the planet,
Okay.
yeah. So I mean, that's added a key element to the team for breaking and stuff like that. So I don't think we give you enough credit for what you do around here too, man. So we
Absolutely.
appreciate it.
Thank you guys.
What was for you when you started, which was in Macarios and Car Break Kids? What have you seen since you started to now?
A lot more guys obviously getting into the game.
Yep.
A lot more guys starting on eBay. You know what's changed a lot? Actually, the most group breaking, I've seen a lot more Facebook action going on. That wasn't really going on back then, right?
No, there
Around
was no
2014.
there was
Yeah.
no book breaks.
No book breaks.
The F book.
The old Facebook. Yeah, that's a good point. Facebook has kind of allowed communities to grow and people to gather followings on Facebook to kind of create their own side breaks. Now, those two guys that we mentioned before kind of predominantly ran on Facebook and eBay, so you do got to be wary. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't take much to start up a channel and do these things. So you stick with the guys that have been around for a while and that kind of have a reputation. But yeah, that's kind of spun off, and you're right. And then eBay's kind of came full circle. eBay was we love you at the beginning, and then they're like, wait a second, no, wait, we have a chance listing kind of thing because we don't know what you're doing. You have to do. Because there was people reporting things and stuff like that for not getting stuff in breaks. There was reports going on. So then people had to like, oh, you're getting an index card, blah, blah, blah. And so you had to kind of like be funky on eBay. Now it's came back around where they've kind of supported it and they understand and kind of back group breaks on eBay as far as not having to say you're sending an index card and stuff
It
like that.
all comes down to money. eBay was like, we like money. Oh wait, there may be we gotta look at some legal issues with this.
Yeah.
Because we like money, but we don't like getting sued
Yes.
because that's gonna cost us money.
We don't.
And then they basically assessed it. Probably hired a crap ton of lawyers to look at it, and then they were like, "Oh yeah, we remembered we like money now."
Yep.
So let's keep on funneling that in. eBay does love money. They love it. Not as much as actually. I think they're the same company, but StubHub. We were talking about it before. StubHub loves money.
StubHub loves a lot of money.
StubHub gets the buyer, the seller. Like they're making at times they're making like 25 to 30% on a ticket.
Crazy.
I mean,
Now, if they had the cash in front of them like the homeboy, I'd be like, nah, makes sense.
well, yeah, I'm like, well, those guys who are breaking, they don't have StubHub money.
No.
They got whatever they had out
StubHub
there.
has a cold. He's got like 100. He's wiping his face with.
Mr. StubHub?
Mr. StubHub.
Mr. StubHub.
Well, we're getting a little short on time, and we have some topics. But I did want to give away. If you want to go back just real quick, I'll give my opinion on how the products changed. I have kind of it's going to be kind of surprising. I actually think that the products were better before. I know this is kind of a get off my lawn. But like if you look at certain products like Bowman, and we were talking about this at lunch, Bowman used to only have golds, greens, reds, base, refractor. There was only like 6 different parallels of the autos. Now, because production's gone up, now I don't know if Group breaks 100% of that. It could just be good years of product that prove it. They've got the greens, they've got the purples, they've got the gold shimmers, they got the orange shimmers. So they've made so many more subsets of these autos to make these autos more obtainable to be able to make more production. But back in 2009, Trout's year, you had only those colors that I spoke about. So I think Group Breaks has, and if you look at some of the older Exquisite products and some of the older National Treasures products, you were getting like the Joe Montana type of hit in every box. So now they had to make double the production, triple the production, quadruple the production because there's so many more outlets for these products to go that they're a little bit less scarce. So I think group breaks kind of hurt the industry in that regard. But at the same time, the boxes that it's $600, group breaks have made them more affordable by getting in a spot, lot less risk, more big potential payoff. So there's give and take there. But as a product enthusiast, if somebody that's going to open a box, it's hurt it a little bit. That's not to say it may, change. Last question before we move on. Where does it go? Where does group breaking go? Does it stay where we're at, or does it progress into something like more digital?
I don't think it ever progresses into something more digital. People want to have the physical cards. Collecting cards it's been around for a long time.
Yeah.
I think you may see changes within how cards are made, maybe with more unique pieces of memorabilia, kind of thinking out of the box with memorabilia stuff.
Yeah.
More
Virtual reality. I like that one.
virtual reality. All
We
right.
could all be sitting in the room. And then I could see your facial reactions when you skunk, and I'll be like, you see my facial reaction when I look back at you. And then we might have a virtual reality fight. No, I'm just kidding. But that would be interesting, like a Google Hangout, like kind of everybody's face, all 30 faces.
Yeah.
Just don't shove pizza in your face when you're on the Google Hangout. No.
The googs.
The Googliatas.
The
And that
googs.
question's for you guys in the chat as well.
Yeah, it's hard to say where it goes. It really, that has to do solely with what the manufacturers and distributors want it, where they want to take it.
Yeah.
No pun intended, they kind of hold all the cards. Damn, dude, are we done yet? I'm saying a bunch of things
Puns
that
that piss yourself off.
puns and phrases that just make me angry.
Yeah.
Next, I'm going to say the proof's in the pudding. I'm going to tip over the table and go home. All right. Yeah, I think it really has to do. It really depends what the manufacturers and distributors want to do going forward. They're going to control everything.
Yeah.
They have been for a while now, and they're taking even more control when the hotter the products get, the more control they take. So you're starting to see some weird swings in the industry with the way products are distributed.
Like first off the line.
First
stuff like
off the
that.
line, I think that's just the first step in kind of a change of power. So
Yeah.
we'll see. I mean, no matter what happens, we're still going to be opening up cards. We're still going to be doing what we do.
Until we're gonna ride this till the wheels fall off, and I think that's another cliche.
It's a terrible phrase.
But I did want to. I think the most important thing that was said in the chat, as far as in concerned with group breaks, is a comment that Rob's made, which is it's a way to unite people with a common interest, which I think is the most important factor here, because
I think that is, and I think that gets lost in the fact that it gets lost in the adrenaline rush of the chase.
It does.
At
You're
the
right.
end of the day, like we all get together because we all have a common interest. We all like sports, and we all like talking about sports,
Yep.
and we all like collecting things.
Yep.
And it all goes hand in hand, and we're a community, and we all talk about this, and we enjoy it together. So that's how it really grows, and that's how it progresses. I think a lot of that aspect of it gets lost because of either the value of the cards or just overall, like,
Yeah, I know
the
what you're
product.
saying.
Yeah,
Skunking too many times.
Skunking too many
or
times, and-
watching your wallet, things like that. Which
kind-
I understand.
maybe buying more, maybe buying out of your means a little bit, putting yourself in a bad financial situation. At the end of the day, it's supposed to be enjoyable.
Yeah.
We're supposed to be all having a good time with it. We don't want to basically sell something to somebody where they're not happy with the product.
Right.
That's never our intention. We want everybody to have fun with this. And again, I'll be the first one to tell people, if you're not having a good time with it, then you probably shouldn't be doing it.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not going to tell anybody how to spend their money. I'm not going to tell anybody what to do, but
Right.
I will say that if it isn't fun, then you shouldn't do it.
Absolutely. But, it it is supposed to be, you know, the busy person or the person that's, you know, looking for a community, because it's hard to find a community. I mean, regardless of what town you're in, there's very few collectors that are around you, so you can't like really get together unless it's your buddy and stuff like that. So to be able to come into a chat with like-minded individuals, and you know, maybe you're busy from a day at work, and you know, this is your way of being able to watch your kids and, you know, participate in something fun for yourself. That's the beauty of online breaking, and I think that's why it's always suffered in a live show environment like going to the National, because at that point it's not about the community online, it's about being in a show. So we'll have another segment on that at some point.
Oh, we can do a whole show on that.
We could.
I mean, we've probably done more live events than any other group breaker. We've done a lot of them. Every time and there's a lot of them we've turned down because we feel that the end result, the end product is not, the quality isn't there.
Right.
We're always kind of dumbing down the quality. There's always, I mean, taking what we do on the road, there really is no technology for it. Yeah. I mean, we have just searched high and low for the most efficient ways of taking the show on the road. Some people do it, and their setup is way more condensed than our setup.
Yep.
And we don't want to take a condensed setup on the road because, again, the quality isn't there.
Yeah, so that's a challenging thing.
It's a challenge, and I mean, we've sat there and done breaks at, I know we're going off topic, so we've sat there and done breaks at the National, and we're performing for everybody who's watching us at home, which we can be doing that at our office. Nobody is watching us ever at the National.
Right.
I mean, there might be a handful of people who are hanging around the booth, and we're just kind of, you know, going back and forth and talking and whatnot, and I love meeting everybody. That's
the most important.
Love doing that, but it's not like when they try to sell us a booth at the National, they're like, you're going to get so much exposure. There's going to be a crowd of people just around you guys, like just waiting to get into breaks and stuff like that. No, not at all. That's not it. So any aspiring group breaker who is basically thinking about taking the show on the road and doing events, think about that.
Yeah. And plus, you know, I've actually gotten used. I'm actually socially awkward in general. If you've ever talked to me outside, meet me outside. But like talking to you guys, I'm so used to me talking, you texting. That's the kind of thing that's my daily. But now I got to meet somebody face to face, and it's just like it's awkwardness. Not that I love it regardless. I'm just saying the comfort level for me is that interaction. So, you know, I want to, you know, then we go face to face, and it's, you know, it's not the same thing. So my daily is my routine is doing this and seeing text and reacting to that and opening up cards and things. So, you know, that's our forte. But I wanted to move on to Immaculate Basketball. Came out today. We've got actually I skipped ahead. We could just go past Tops. You can vote for your number one card, the number one card in the set for 2018 Tops on Tops' website. So you could pick the most votes. Will be the number one card in the set, meaning card number one, not like the most popular card number one in the set. But Immaculate came out today. There's been nastiness. We've been pulling Logo Mans. We've been pulling shoe cards. We've got more breaks today. I think it's lived up to the hype in my regard because the 5 cases we've done today had really nice stuff. We've got a few of the hits that we pulled on these next few slides. You're looking at 5 hits a box. You're looking at chance at big Logo Mans, quad autos, shoe cards. That Kobe that we pulled today is absolutely gorgeous. The acetate doesn't even pop well in this picture. It is an absolutely fantastic card, all-time greats. We pulled the Logo Man autograph of Pau Gasol.
I thought you were going to go, that redemption right there just doesn't quite pop.
Yeah, it
doesn't. The photo just doesn't quite give it justice. The card stock on that white, off-white with the white sticker on it, ooh, supreme. Yep. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Malcolm Brogdon from the Panini's website. That's the RPA design, which looks nice with the prime patch, and they have the parallels and the acetates. And just moments before the show went live, I don't even think Dan saw this, we pulled this absolute monster. It's the new Laces set. So they have sneak peeks too, but this is the Laces, and they're all one-of-ones. They're game-worn.
Those are, I was reading, I think those are like crazy. There's like 1 in like 140-something cases.
So we defied the odds. Only here.
I mean, considering that we only got 385 cases of this stuff,
I
I mean,
know.
we may have one more in the bunch.
But I mean, in person, that card was absolutely ridiculous.
Kidding, we didn't get that. I don't want to get called out on that. But we
I
did
know,
not. We
right?
didn't get that many. We got
No, we got significantly.
we got
fewer
we
than
got we got a lot less. We got our proper allocation.
Congrats on that one, man. That was a big hit, buddy. C-Rad, what do you think? What was your initial opinion on the 5 cases we opened of Immaculate?
I'm biased, dude. I love basketball.
Yeah.
I mean, Immaculate is delivering. Like I said to you guys at lunch, it's delivering what I expect out of Immaculate. It's crazy patches. You know what I'm saying? The dual, triple, and quad autos are there. We've been hitting really nice ones. The acetate autos have been nice. The Kobe Bryant, we hit the Kobe Bryant acetate, and a bunch of other acetate guys too. So, to me, I mean, besides of course the rookie, we always bring up the rookie class. Yes, the rookie class, but everything else is on par with what Immaculate usually delivers.
In my opinion on this product, this might be a great prospecting set for some of these guys' autos because as soon as the season starts, guys like Jamal Murray or guys like DeJounte Murray or guys like maybe Skull or some of these guys, one of these guys, Buddy Hield, one of these guys is going to pop this year. You go back to 13-14 where we initially had Michael Carter-Williams pop in and you had Oladipo. Nobody was really – I mean, people were on a Giannis, but they weren't on a Giannis like they are now. So there's going to be a guy like Giannis that's going to come out of the 16-17 rookie class. I know we're already trying to pass up the 16-17 rookie class and get to the Lonzo Ball era of things, but there's going to be some guys in this set that are going to be huge, some of these rookies that are going to absolutely kill.
We're going to be going back, and mark my words, in about 6 to 8 months, we're going to be going back going, man, I've been trying to get as much 16, 17 stuff as I can. I just can't get it.
enough.
I can't get it. I've been trying to get some Court Kings, and it's just been impossible.
Yeah.
And because it happens
trying to get totally certified.
It happens every year. I mean, I've been saying that if you can get a good deal on 16, 17 stuff, just hold on to it until the season starts. There's going to be one of these rookies that are going to pop.
Yeah.
If it's Jamal Murray or if it's Jaylen Brown or one of these guys is going to pop, and the stuff is going to – it dries up instantly, and the price will go up instantly. Yep. You see it every single time that, like, Preferred will go from $100 a box. Like, what was it, 13, 14 Preferred? With Giannis, you couldn't get rid of that stuff. That stuff like went down to like
13?
It almost went down to like half of what the wholesale was.
13-14 Prism was $30.
$30.
Jeez.
$30.
It's over 100 now, 150.
See, it just shows you something's going to happen at some point with the 16, 17 rookie class.
It takes literally like a hot start. One of those players comes out and is averaging 25 points a game.
There it goes. And the beauty, I mean, look up if you don't collect basketball, if you're like I'm football, baseball, just look up logo mans. It's insane. You get a logo man for any of these teams. You get a guy that's coming off the bench logo man. You're looking at a minimum like $500 or $600 a lot of the time. So, and then you throw, if you get a LeBron logo man, you're looking at 10 G's. I mean, it's crazy what logo man sell for. It's the only patch in the whole hobby that literally maintains its value and always sells extreme. I mean, bat knobs don't compare. NFL shields don't compare. Hockey shields don't compare. So the logo man is it's created its buzz through Exquisite through all these years, and now we have it in Immaculate and Flawless.
It's a true logo man.
And it is the, creme de la creme. That's what people want.
It's a true logo man.
They don't surface all the time either.
The
once
baseball
they get caught.
logo man is not a logo man. It's a batter silhouette.
Exactly. Well, I wanted to get into, Lonzo Ball. Dan always makes fun of us talking about Lonzo Ball and Aaron Judge, but we're going to talk about Lonzo Ball.
We did it again. 4 months in a row? I think it's been every single episode. We have not talked about either Ball or Judge.
Well, why not? They're trending, and you can see it here on the stats.
Oh, I'm sorry. The other guy we were talking about constantly was Elliott. Ezekiel Elliott.
Well, he didn't make the episode, so I appeased the
next
quota.
Next week.
But the Ball family is blowing up, and there was an interesting article on ESPN today where it had the stats of how much LeVar Ball's name's been mentioned. And we go back to the UCLA, the tournament, when he was saying UCLA is going to win the championship. 267 tweets about LeVar at that time. You fast forward to something he said in the last couple days. He's been talked about over 2 million times on Twitter now. That is phenomenal. From Amari, love him or hate him, what he's done for his family as far as exposure and his brand is absolutely insane. I mean, it's remarkable, and the entrepreneurship from him, from the ball brand, and I know those things are way too expensive for what they are, but you know what? He may be selling more and more each day. I'd like to see the stats on how many Big Baller shirts have been sold, because with the show he's doing, I just appreciate the pure entrepreneurship and the guerrilla marketing that he did. Just he was overly confident about his kids, which is any father, mother, or family member, you're going to be pretty confident about your kids. Now, I know making outlandish claims that he's better than Steph. Hey, what are you going to say, your kid's not good, though? So, craziness. So
it's just started to you keep on using the was in like a past tense. Like he still has 2 more kids. He ain't going anywhere.
Well, he's 1 for 1. Do we really sit there and think, we'll go to C-Rad here, do we think that he's going to be 3 for 3 with his sons?
No.
Do you think he's going to be 2 for 3 with getting his sons on the Lakers?
No.
Ooh, that's a stress too.
No. I think he'll be 2 for 3 getting 2 sons into the NBA, but he will not get 2 sons on the same team.
Yeah.
Now they may play together at some point in their career, but
the draft spot's got to line up and everything.
Yeah, I mean the chances of that happening highly unlikely. You went back to that photo where it was all the kids there and the dad LeVar.
Uh-huh.
LaMelo's small, isn't he?
Well, I don't know how old that photo is.
Or was he like 9 years old?
He might have been like 11 or 12. I mean, I think he's close to, I don't know the official height on LaMelo at this point.
Because he's not going to high school anymore. They pulled him out.
They did.
He's doing the homeschooling. He doesn't need any distractions. And I guess there may have been a little bit of beef with the principal and the coach.
Yeah.
And they've gone through, is it Chino Hills High?
It is.
Since LeVar's been around, they've gone through I think 2 coaches back to back.
Yeah.
Last year's coach is now quit. They got a new coach. He basically said that LaMelo wasn't that they're not going to play a game where somebody on the team shoots 50 times a game.
Right.
Which I think that's how you win. You win games by passing the ball. You cannot have one guy shoot 50 times.
Right.
I mean, how does that make everybody else feel on the team?
Yeah, that they should name the team of that guy's name.
Yeah.
Be like the Mellos or LaMelos. Well, it's not unprecedented for elite basketball prospects to not go to high school. Justin Jackson, most recently, he didn't go. He went to the homeschool route. So, and Tim Tebow actually went to homeschool. So there's been athletes over the years that have done that. I don't know how I feel about it. I think you almost need high school as far as like the socialness of it, the completion. His dad may be harder on him than the teachers are going to be, though. So maybe he just doesn't want his son to have distractions, and he wants him to keep his eye on the prize, which is the NBA. He also can kind of cater more training and stuff and have school later. He doesn't have to abide by the school schedule, would be my take on it. I don't know how I feel. I mean, there's also some people saying, hey, maybe he should be allowed to go to and play in high school basketball but still be homeschooled.
Well,
but
didn't we have the same thing with Bryce Harper? I think Bryce Harper was taken out of high school.
I think he took classes early to finish high school early.
Yeah, and then he played.
And then he played in the
he was playing in community college when he was like 16.
Right, so that he could finish his education and then be able to get drafted early.
Okay.
So I thought that was originally the play.
But the parents did choose to pull him out of his high school.
This is Lonzo rapping. I want to see your guys' take on it. I'm a get off my lawn guy.
Oh my, dude, I was like flipping out here. I was like, why can't I can't hear that?
It's too modern rap for me. I'm more of a Nas, Wu-Tang, Tupac guy.
They know my name's Zeal too. Pay respect and pay your dues. Shout out to Future, keep guap on me. Shout out to Beast, cause I keep me a lot on me. Shout out to everyone doubting me. Changing the game and they make cause I'm charging.
Not horrible though.
Know the name, you see the fame. All my socials got the check. If you talking out of line, put 3 stripes across your neck. And my Under Armour X-Man. X-Man without the X.
You said Under Armour though. Isn't that a no-no for the big baller brand? So, like I said, he's not bad. There's been a lot, worse NBA rappers over time. I mean, he doesn't hold a candle to Dame Dollar, and Dame Dollar is a true rapper. But that was and if you guys are wondering about Immaculate, we're not sold out yet. You're like, hey, why you guys keep talking? Let's break Immaculate. We still got teams left, so we're running the show a little bit longer.
Was that a music video?
It was.
Was that like an ad for a shoe? What were we doing here?
He created a track, and then I think somebody just built a video around it because there's clips from Slam, and so. But yeah, he's a rapper. He's a rapper. He has all that time. All the time.
That wasn't great music. I didn't like that.
So you're another get off my lawn.
Yeah, I didn't like
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
I didn't like that.
Yeah. What does it say? He's a little dude. Matt says my son is horrible at sports. I bet no single scout looked at the actual score of the game. Well, last topic of the day before we get back into break mode. Certified cuts came out today. We've only done one case. We did hit 2 cuts, none of the big sell sheet ones. But if you go through, there's some massive chase cards and cuts. There's Pat Tillman. There's Jim Thorpe book with a used relic. There's
goes to
presidential cuts.
Hey, Jim Thorpe. That goes just to clarify. That
to the
goes
Bears.
it goes to the Giants, right?
To the Bears or Giants. We'll clarify. Reggie White,
that's
game
nice.
used cut there, book. You go through some more of these.
You don't find a lot of game used Reggie White
Not anymore.
jerseys. That's nice.
There's one Pat Tillman, which we were trying to buy a Pat Tillman autographed shirt for one of our buybacks, and just the autographed shirt was like thousands of dollars. So this should go real well, and a true mark of a war hero. And what he did for the country is highly collectible. He's local to us around here too, as well, Pat Tillman. So, and then there's some more. I think I got some pictures of the presidents on there. Thomas Jefferson. I mean, I could only imagine what that goes for. That's probably like a $15,000 card. Craziness. So if you buy a cheap team in certified cuts, that card, if we pull it, will be random through all. So you have a chance at that. Buy the cheapest team, and you have a shot at that. So. So it's certified cuts, more of that coming up today. We also have more Immaculate, which we're going to get into right now. And that's pretty much it. Certified cuts and Immaculate for the rest of the evening, guys. So be sure to check out mojobreak.com. So for our Immaculate breaks, we still have the coupon code going. You get 12% off any Immaculate team. Not random, but any of the team-style breaks. And if you spend over $300, you'll get 15% off. And I think it actually will work for certified cuts, too. So if you want to use it on that, pile up certified cut spots and Immaculate spots, you can do that as well. So I'd like to thank you guys for tuning in. It was a fun show. Went a little long, but we don't have breaks sold out right now anyway. But it will fill up soon. So just stick around, and we'll be breaking some Immaculate, hopefully pulling some Logo Mans. And you guys have anything else to add in?
That's it. What time is it? We're running about 15 minutes behind. It's all good.
Immaculate.
That's rad.
Nice. We got to do that. Peace.
Later.
See you guys.